What's up guys, welcome down to the new channel and what is the very first video of my YouTube channel, my very first YouTube video that I've ever published. So yeah, thank you for tuning in if you are watching. The main kind of content I'm going to be posting out is about digital marketing. That's what I do as a business. If you know me from anywhere else such as Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you know that I run a digital growth agency specializing in Facebook ads, Google ads, all those different kind of things to grow businesses online. And I also do some mentoring with business owners to take them from typically around about 3 to 4K a month, kind of establish some systems, processes, and really clarify the process of how to build and run an effective agency. Usually, especially as I did, you start out and you buy all these courses and there's loads of information, it's mismatched, it's jumbled, so it's just kind of real lifetime information from my mistakes that they can learn from. What I wanted to do is I wanted to start on this note, and kind of just like weekly musings. It's a bit of a place where we can all come to vent, where we can sit and be with our thoughts for a little bit and just kind of recap on what could have been a really, really good week or a really, really bad week, and the kind of things that I've discovered there. So before we start, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications when it comes live, all those different types of things. I will try to put this video live every Saturday, usually about 3 to 4 p.m, depending on how editing goes. And it's just a place where we can sit and we can talk and things like that. Please be patient. It's my first YouTube video. Don't really know how this works. YouTube is something completely new to me, but I want it to be relaxed. If you've got any suggestions or anything you want to discuss in the comments, then leave a comment down below, or you can reach out to me on my Instagram and my Facebook, of which the links are below as well. So as you can see, it's a bit of, just like I said, an informal chat. I'm sat here in my old regimental hoodie in my office that isn't finished because I haven't put the TV up on the wall since we've moved, and just kind of some points that I've made throughout the week, and I just want to kind of talk about. I made a post on Facebook yesterday about entrepreneurship and how entrepreneurship is extremely lonely. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I have a very, very supportive family. Both my mum and dad are, they're still together, they're both still here. I've got my brother and my sisters, and I live with my wonderful, wonderful fiance and our little dog who's sat at my lap. So if you hear us snoring away, I apologise. And, I come home every night from various meetings, or I pick Alicia up from work, and we spend that little bit of time together. But I'm constantly living life in my own head, and I can sit on the sofa of an evening or lay in bed of an evening with Alicia and still feel the loneliest I have ever felt in my life. And there's a few reasons I think for this. Firstly, being an entrepreneur, a boss, a CEO, however you kind of brand yourself in this online business space, or whatever it is you do, you are constantly living life in your own head. There are so many different things that you are responsible for. So cash flow, your clients, if you've got staff, your staff, it's a huge responsibility running a business. And a lot of that, top line and bottom line as well, to be fair, the buck stops with you. All of that responsibility stops with you, and it's an incredibly lonely place. Now, I don't know obviously the dynamics of the people who are watching this, but how it works in this household is, I'm self-employed, I'm an entrepreneur, it's my own business, it has been for the last 3 years, and Alicia is part-time employed as a dance teacher. Her background, she's a professional dancer, she's part-time employed as a dance teacher, so she has that kind of income. I have my income from the business, but then I've also got the monthly cash flow, payroll, all those different kind of things to worry about. So that's how it works in our house, and it's incredibly lonely because Alicia doesn't understand that. I've then got to worry about, are we meeting sales targets? How are, all of our clients getting on? Are we delivering the best service that we can possibly deliver for the people who have trusted us with their marketing budgets? And these aren't small budgets. I think the smallest client that we have paying us is an older client of ours who spends around about £1,000 a month on Facebook, up to clients that are spending 50-60k a month on their advertisements across a couple of platforms. So it's a huge responsibility to be able to manage your staff, manage your clients, manage your own life, and then come home and be present as a husband, a father, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a mother, all those kind of different things that entrepreneurial challenges face up. And I think it's an incredibly lonely place. Because people don't kind of understand. There's, with everything that's going on with the current economical climate in the UK at the minute, a lot of people are branding business owners as greedy. Landlords are greedy. Energy companies are greedy, which they fucking are. I don't care. Every single business owner is literally just out to make a profit. But this is our livelihood, same as their life is going to work for another business. They're contributing towards that. So there's a lot of bad press around about that at the minute, and a lot of business owners are genuinely trying to do good within their circles and with the community and the audiences that they serve. And then I think the other side of it is you sacrifice an immense amount when you start your own business. Now, I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me here, because this is the life that when I left the military, I chose. When I found out I was going to be medically discharged, setting up my business, being self-employed, and going on this journey of not living a 9-to-5, being able to do the extraordinary things of traveling when I want to, having the nice house, having the nice car, having those material items, but also knowing that I've got the time and financial freedom to do what the fuck I want, when the fuck I want, is something that I took on. So I don't want anyone to sit there and go, oh, woe is me, someone who earns some money online is sad and lonely, because it's really not the case. But it's a sacrifice that we all make. I sacrificed a lot of going out. I've lost an awful lot of friends. A lot of my family don't understand and just want me to get a proper job. You sacrifice working 40 hours a week to go and work 80 hours a week just so you're not doing it for someone else. You kind of sacrifice a work-life balance. And now I'm a massive advocate of having a balance of, you need to be running your business, but you also need to be living your life and living in the moment, because that's what we do it for. But at the same time, you never kind of switch off for that. So you do end up working those ridiculously long hours. I think especially in the beginning, especially if you're in the digital marketing space like I am, you sacrifice an awful lot to get off the ground, to set everything up, to learn the skills you need to learn, to get your first clients, to understand how the entire process actually works, and get it to a place where you can pay your bills and sustain yourself as a minimum. You sacrifice an awful lot, and people don't understand that. If you're just starting out in your entrepreneurial journey, I want you to take a look now at the people in your friends list or the people that follow you on Instagram, because I guarantee that if you go and check, and if you're consistent with this, and you stay true to the person who you want to be, in a year's time that friends list isn't going to be the same, and you're going to go to checking on people that you used to work with, or you went to uni with, or whatever. People you considered friends, and they're not going to be on your friends list anymore. And that's because they think you're a different person and you've changed, and it comes from a place of their self-insecurity. So just be prepared for that. This week has been, for me, has been especially difficult. If you know anything about me, I'm a British Army veteran. I was medically discharged due to my mental health. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety. None of those are combat related before people start going down that rabbit hole. There were a few different incidents that kicked it off for me, and that's the position I ended up in there. And over the past 3 years, especially during the lockdowns that we've had due to coronavirus and an incompetent government, my mental health really took a dip, and it still does continue to do so today. Now, I'm in a position where I can manage my symptoms, and I understand, why my brain works the way it does and why it's currently wired the way it is, and I understand that sometimes my brain can get sick, the same as the rest of my body. But it still can take a huge toll, and I think anyone who's ever suffered with any kind of mental health understands that it is very, very tiring having a poorly brain, because you're constantly thinking and overthinking. And this week has been especially difficult for that, and a few kind of external factors that are going on in my personal life that have kind of just caused those stresses, and that has creeped into the business as well, where we haven't set as many appointments as we need to be setting, or we've had to reshuffle some meetings and things like that. And that's been especially lonely, because although I can talk to my partner about how I'm feeling and the kind of emotions that are going on and the stress it's causing me, I still don't feel that she typically understands, and I don't feel like you understand fully until you do run your own business and all of those responsibilities are on you. Which kind of brings me on, enough of being lonely and sad and depressed. It kind of brings me on to my next point that I discovered this week, and I was saying to a mentorship student of mine. Now, the student of mine is also a very, very good friend. We've known each other in the digital space for a few years. We've collabed on a few projects. We still continue to collab on a few projects. But he was, going through some difficult periods as well. And I managed to get hold of him again this week, and we were talking about, building that consistency that you need to be setting appointments and to be essentially earning money, because that is the objective of a business in the majority of cases. And he was like, I don't understand how, I'm doing the work, but I'm not making any money. And it's because he was skipping parts of the process to set those discovery calls, sales appointment, strategy calls, whatever you want to call them. And it came to me that blank space in your sales calendar is a debt to your business. So what I mean by that is, when you break your day down, I always believe, and I firmly believe, and I teach that sorry, someone is calling me, and I don't understand if this is still... Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to ignore that. I'm going to edit that bit out. Someone was calling me. When you break down... I teach and believe that when you break down your day, it should always be the hardest task first, which are typically the income-producing tasks. IPTs, IPAs, income-producing actions. Now, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's cold calls, cold emails, DM strategies, content strategies, YouTube videos, all those different kind of things. These are the things that need to be put forward first. If you are waking up and the first thing you are doing is fighting fires in your business, then you are going to struggle to make money online. Sales activity solves 99% of business problems. And if you are not setting those appointments and setting those calls, and you have a blank space in your sales calendar, that is a debt to your business. Say if each client you sign is worth £2,000 a month to you, and you can take 2 or 3 sales calls a day, and you aren't setting those sales calls, or you're not setting those discovery calls, you are in debt to your business around about £4,000 to £6,000 per day. Now, when that adds up over a week and over a month and over a year, that's an exponential amount of money that could be better off serving those clients and servicing your business than them going to your competition, who are going to do a shit job, because there are people out there who are just in it for the money. So I just want you to remember that blank space in your sales calendar is a debt to your business. And that brings me on very, very nicely to my next point. I said this to a good friend of mine, and I don't know if he's ever going to watch this. I don't know if anyone is ever going to watch this, or if they've even got to the 15-minute mark here. But I just want to shout out a good friend of mine, Donovan. Now, Donovan is another agency owner. We've collaborated on projects in the past. He's based in Birmingham. He focuses on martial arts schools, and he is genuinely one of the best at what he does in that space, I believe. Um, and he's gone on this journey of leaving his full-time job, going full-time with his agency, and just building a life that he wants to build. And he messaged me, and it was the 31st of October, so it was last week, it was Halloween, and he messaged me a Stripe screenshot. And that's Stripe is a payment processor, if you don't know, and that's what he uses to collect his payments from clients. And his Stripe screenshot was just a smidge under £10,000. Now I know that Donovan has wanted to hit 10k a month for a very, very long time, and he has been so consistent in his action of doing this. And then he sent me a screenshot at 10:30 at night of that same Stripe account over 10k. And the conversation that we had that followed that is something that I want to touch on. First off, Donovan, I'm super proud of you, man. You have done so well in the last 4, 5, 6 months, and I'm just so incredibly proud of you. I think you're a great human being, and I genuinely hope and wish you all the best success in the world, and that you can continue growing your agency to where I know it can and should be. But the thing I said to Donovan is, you need to do it again. He said, what? I said, that 10k, you need to do it again, and you can do it again, because you now got a system that is replicable. I was like, do not get complacent at this point. It's so easy to sit there and rest on your laurels at 10k a month and go, I'm fine, I'm set. Because then, clients start to drop off, clients start to leave, and then all of a sudden, the natural life cycle of your business has gone from 10k to 2k, and it's because you just got complacent. These are mistakes that I've learned, and I want people to learn from this. I did the same when I first got to around about £12,000 per month. I just stopped signing new clients and was just living life, and then I lost it all, and then I built back up again, and I got to 35k a month, and I did the exact same thing again, where I was just walking around thinking I was something I wasn't, and I just got ridiculously arrogant with it, and it's the biggest regret that I've got probably in my life, of just walking around thinking I had fuck you money, when in reality £36,000 a month when you've got staff and overheads to pay isn't an awful lot. And that took me back down to about 10, and we've really rebuilt from there. But something I've learned from that is there are only two types of momentum in business. You have forward momentum and you have backwards momentum. If you never stay still. You never stay still. So if you are not doing the key daily sales activities in your business and fulfilling your clients and customer service and service delivery and all these things that you need to do to grow, then you are going backwards. As long as you are taking those daily actions and even just improving by 1% a day, you're moving forwards. You never ever stay still in business. So let me just repeat that for you. There are two types of momentum in business. You have forwards and you have backwards momentum. If you are not taking those daily activities seriously to move forwards, you are only going backwards. And it is very, very hard to arrest that momentum and bring it back on track. So don't let it slip. There are going to be days where you are not feeling yourself, and that is absolutely fine. But don't let that day turn into 2, 3, or even a week where you're not doing any form of outreach or you're not taking sales calls, because you will start to move backwards. Which kind of brings me on to my final point of consistency. Now, everyone says that people are lucky. People in the positions of earning money online or running a business or whatever are lucky, and I tell them to go fuck themselves, because there's no luck about it. The rewards that you get, or the perceived rewards that you get from running a business and running an agency, are the products of daily consistency. This is getting up every day, washing your face, brushing your teeth, turning up and doing the daily activities that need to be done. Now, no one can ever be 100% consistent with it. You are going to have off days, but being there, doing those things you need to do, and making sure that you're servicing your clients, you're servicing your own business, and just being consistent with it is absolutely key. even if it's a case of, you're consistent with the content that you're posting out. So I'm going to try to do 2 to 3 YouTube videos a week. This is a way for me to be accountable and consistent for that. And over time, that consistency will hopefully bring me to a pace where it's a paid channel and I can help as many people as I can possibly help with these daily musings and the digital marketing content and things like that. So you really, really need to focus on building some kind of consistency. And I'm going to leave it there for this week and kind of wrap up. I hope that some of the points here have, enlightened you or resonated with you, or have, brought some questions to the forefront that you can ask, on any of the platforms. I prefer it to be publicly, because then, other people can benefit from that answer. But, if you do want to reach out to me privately, then, please do. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to, see if anyone tunes in to listen to the ramblings of quite a grumpy digital entrepreneur every week. But yeah, I hope this is kind of a good space for you guys to come and to just listen and to be with your own thoughts, and kind of understand that although it's a very, very lonely journey, which I think is the key message of today, that you're not on your own. Thank you very much for listening. Like I said at the start, please drop a comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when new videos pop up. And thank you for joining me on what I hope is going to be an exciting and prosperous journey for us all. Take care, and I hope you have a fucking wonderful week.